Welcome back to the Sugar Side Podcast. I'm Garrett, and as always, I am joined by the beautiful, the handsome, the sexy, the well-endowed.
Racist.
Tré, how are you doing, my friend? How are you?
I'm good. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the Sugar Side Podcast. How you doing, bud? What's the weather like?
Is it a happy Wednesday? Is it? I don't know. I'm not feeling too chipper over here. Hey, I'm having a shitty day. This is going to be a great podcast, and I'm in an amazing mood to talk about things that I don't like.
Well, you know what, pal? Not to give too much away off the bat, but we do have a Star Wars segment at the end of this episode, and I think you're in the perfect mood to talk about what we're going to talk about today.
I might be just in that sweet spot to be able to talk about Phantom Menace the way that it deserves, that it deserves the energy that I'm going to bring to the table today.
Everything happens for a reason, man, but we're not starting there. Why don't you get us going? What are we doing with our first segment?
First segment, Tré, I think it should be apparent to our viewers by now, and to you, because we have a plan going into podcasts before we start recording.
Every week.
And then literally the day of, an hour before we start recording, I say, I do want to kind of talk about this real fast, though. And I squeeze something in there. So, listeners, I'm a degenerate. I watch movies, like, all day, okay? And most recently, I watched the new Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein on Netflix. And so I will be brief on this one. This is not going to be a repeat of Chainsaw Man where I go on for like 30 minutes, okay? I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry. Frankenstein, I'll keep it short and sweet, okay?
Yeah.
I have conflicting feelings on this movie, okay? I liked it and I didn't. Have you seen anything on it yourself before I get into it?
No, not really. Nothing plot related. I saw some makeup time stuff for Jacob Elordi to be Frankenstein on set and things like that, but nothing that related to the movie itself.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll open with this. I do recommend this movie. I'd say go watch it for sure. Definitely go watch it. It's not the same kind of experience I had with One Battle After Another, where I was like, maybe wait for it to come to streaming. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say go ahead and just, this is on streaming, so go ahead and watch it.
Right.
You know, it's good enough in that regard. There are so many things I liked about this movie. For one thing, Del Toro as a director is so good. He's so good at what he does. The camera movement in this movie was awesome. The set pieces were awesome. The costuming was awesome. There are so many little details that are part of the story told through clothing.
Yeah.
There's a whole journey that I've witnessed where it's like you see that as the monster becomes more human, Victor becomes more like a monster just from his outfits throughout the rest of the movie. Like by the end of it, he's in like these big furs and he's hobbling on his prosthetic leg and he's like, he looks like a crazy person. So so I like that juxtaposition.
That is really cool. That's a cool detail that you caught too. I mean, it was obviously purposeful, but
yeah, you know, really cool. It does a good job of framing the story through something subtle like that, like clothing. And I thought that was really interesting. The music in this movie is phenomenal. Actually phenomenal. I had to stop myself a couple times and just be like, am I smiling right now? Like, just like sitting on my couch, just like acting in awe. He's in the middle of like sawing people's corpses apart and like dragging bloody bags of dead bodies around, and his lab is horrific, and the music is like whimsical and lovely and like hopeful, and it's just such an amazing thing to watch, where it's like what I'm seeing is horrible, terrifying.
Yeah.
But what I'm feeling is like, you get him, Victor. Like you do it.
And I love like I love when shows and movies do that, where if they're showing a villain scene, they don't always paint the villain in a dark way. Like, it's
Mm,
almost so much more impactful to be in the mindset of the villain in a way where it's like, that's the music he's hearing in his head. Like, he's living
yeah,
his life's dream.
he's having a great
He's
old
having a
time,
great
dude.
time. And so when you feel that yourself, you're like, you have to pull yourself out of it, like you said, and be like, wait a minute. I'm watching him mutilate corpses. Like,
Yeah, right,
why
right?
am I digging this right now? Like, it's a really cool way, like you said, and Del Toro obviously is an amazing director to be able to pull that off. But yeah, that sounds really, really good. That's awesome.
So good. No, I'm a Frankenstein nerd. I really love this book.
Yeah.
Okay. I was hoping for a page by page, word by word, perfectly accurate recreation of Frankenstein
Shout out
from Del
Chainsaw
Toro.
Man.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out Chainsaw Man for doing exactly that. Right? Anyway, sorry. But
Not saying that today.
gosh, you just made me all like, yeah, that's actually perfect.
The look.
But what I can say is that this is definitely the most accurate Frankenstein movie we've gotten so far, but there are still changes in this movie that like kind of rubbed me the wrong way just because like he added some characters, he took out one of the brothers and aged up the other brother. Kind of, I don't know, like he made it fit the story he wanted to tell. And I like the character that he added is played by Christoph Waltz. Brief tangent, all of the performances in this movie are so good.
Yeah.
All of them. What's her name? Is it Mia Goth or Mia Goff? Do you know?
I think it's Goff with an F.
Yeah, I don't remember. But I saw some criticism going her way for her performance, and I was like, "What are you talking about? She did totally fine. Like,
Hmm.
really pretty good, actually." But everyone's performance in this movie is excellent. Oscar Isaac, dude, you deserve so much more than like some of the stuff that you've done in the past. Like, you are a great actor. Keep it up. Like that you did a great job. Jacob Elordi, I'm not very familiar with because he was on Euphoria, right?
Hell yeah, he was. Shout out
I
Nate
never watched that.
Jacobs. Not really,
Yeah,
from a character perspective, but yeah, he's awesome in Euphoria. But definitely, this is a big jump and
like step
change
up
for
for
him,
him.
for sure, for sure. I mean, he's played in Euphoria too. He's like the psychotic, cool guy, football captain boyfriend, and he does that really, really well. But this is like completely on the other side
Okay.
for him, for
Well,
sure.
good for him, man. I thought he did a very good job. I really liked the design of Frankenstein this time around
Hmm.
because you look back at the classic Frankenstein design that the green with the bolts in his
Yeah,
neck and the
yeah.
scar across his head and stuff. Um, and like that's scary, but it's not what was described in the book. And this
Mm.
is much closer to that, if you ask me. Like he is a slender, like skinny, like tall, uh, I don't know, like he looks like he was crafted, and so
Yeah,
I take that and like he looks really good.
it's cool.
And his performance was really good. I appreciated some of the quieter moments with him and where his facial expressions speak a lot more than what he got with dialogue because I
Hmm.
mean, you're Frankenstein's monster, you're not gonna talk a lot. You're
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah.
so he was very emotive and that was very good.
That's cool.
Um,
I heard he had to
sorry,
be in
so
makeup for 10 hours every day to get
yeah,
into that Frankenstein
that
costume.
is always a pain in the ass. Like
Yeah.
all the behind the scenes of like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and all sorts of other things I've seen, like where the
The
Grinch
Grinch is a
with Jim Carrey.
famous
He
one,
talks about
yeah.
like that he felt like he was suffocating.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
it's a rough process, so I appreciate what had to happen for that kind of a performance to be able to get the shine on this movie.
Mhm.
Um, but you know, I don't know. By the end of the movie, I was like, I felt like there needed to be more movie. Like I don't,
Mm,
like, it covered the book really well. Um, I don't know. I felt like maybe the ending was a little bit of a dud on my view. I
interesting.
was like,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, and the movie's over, okay," like, you know,
Yeah.
kinda thing.
Yeah.
Um, but it's okay. You know, they still added some things to it, like some more violence. In the book, he kills, like, 3 people,
Mhm.
like, that's it. But when he does it, it's pretty violent
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
and purposeful. And this one, sometimes I was like, he is kind of just rampaging around. So, like, I don't know, I kind of miss that direction of violence. Like, in
Mm.
the book, it's almost like he's an arrow, like a well-aimed, like, "I'm gonna kill this person because it's going to hurt you, master, maker," is, you know, kinda thing. And this one, he's tossing people up against walls that are just, like, in his way and whatever.
He's a
It's
monster in this one.
you do expect some of that, like,
Yeah.
from a movie version of Frankenstein, but, you know, overall, I would say this was a good movie. I'll try to again, I gotta cut myself off, otherwise I'll ramble, but, good movie, good performances, great score. Uh, so definitely I would recommend watching this. There were more good things than bad.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool. I'm definitely gonna check
So
it
that's
out.
where
I'm definitely gonna check it out.
I'll wrap up Frankenstein and, let's pass the sugar
Let's do
into
it.
our next segment, which I think could lead to some arguments, could be a clean sweep if it's not. I mean, it's not going to be a clean sweep because there's one that I know is going to come out on top
Of course.
of most things,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So we'll get there when we get there.
We'll get there when
I
we get
think
there.
you know what I'm talking about.
I hope I do. I hope I do.
Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, Tré, how about you actually introduce this segment? What are we doing?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Garrett and I grew up in the late 90s and throughout the 2000s, and I think we can all agree that we had the best era of cartoons throughout our childhood. So
See,
we thought it would,
that's already putting a target on our backs,
for
just so you
sure,
know. Like,
but I'm ready to
we're
stand 10
throwing down the
toes.
gauntlet.
Let's talk about it. I'm ready. You guys come at me. But we thought it would be fun to do a bracket to compare Cartoon Network shows against Nickelodeon shows, and we're strictly doing animated shows because we realize that Nickelodeon does hold strong on the live action side of things, but that's not really fair to compare apples to apples with animated cartoons. So we're going to do just cartoons on this one, but I think this is going to be fun.
No, yeah, I think if we had put Drake and Josh on this list or iCarly or,
Yeah.
you know, those are great shows, but
Hmm.
I have a hard time comparing them to like straight up cartoons, which
For
is
sure.
what we are going to stick with today. I also want to throw in a caveat here that we could have done a three-way kind of
Hmm.
competition between Nick, Cartoon Network, and Disney
I
Channel.
thought about that too. Yeah.
But I did not put the Disney Channel cartoons on there. Maybe who we'll see who comes out as a victor, and we'll
Here,
put
and
them up
then we'll go
against some
Disney.
Disney cartoons
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. I'm down for that.
Yeah, but, I do have to also say that I tried to keep this list, you know, 2000s,
Hmm.
uh, but I did have to throw on my 2 favorite Cartoon Network shows, and those were a little bit closer to, like, 2010 and a little beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 Cartoon Network shows that are a little bit more modern than some of the Nick shows that are on this list, but
Fair enough.
I couldn't not put them on the list because they're 2 of my favorite shows, and I'm gonna really stick up for them in this conversation.
Let's do it.
So our first head-to-head,
Hmm.
SpongeBob SquarePants
Okay. Next.
versus the Powerpuff Girls.
Hmm.
So
I
here's
like that
where I
matchup.
always run into a problem.
Yeah.
SpongeBob, and we've talked about this
We
before,
sure have. And ladies and gentlemen,
SpongeBob.
we stand on this opinion about SpongeBob, and we are ride or die SpongeBob fans. You've heard our SpongeBob quiz in one of the
Mhm.
first episodes we did. We know ball, but
Yeah. But SpongeBob is only good for seasons 1 through 3 in the movie.
no, not good. That is the only
Great.
SpongeBob. That is the
No,
only
yeah,
SpongeBob. SpongeBob ends for us after season 3 in the movie. That is where SpongeBob ends.
but for the sake of this conversation, is that the case, or are we looking at the overall show Because I will also sit here and say that all of Powerpuff Girls is really good.
Yeah, yeah.
They have some of the best villains ever put to cartoons. Like,
True.
you got Mojo Jojo. You have him, who is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, and there are plenty of lines from Powerpuff Girls that I quote too, where like, she's probably upstairs brushing her hair saying that she's going to be the prettiest girl at the party. And I'm going to be the prettiest girl at the party. I say that all the time.
Yeah.
So there is a lot to love about Powerpuff Girls, and a core memory unlocked. I'll never forget seeing the Powerpuff Girls movie in theaters with you.
It's true. It's very true. I mean, the Powerpuff Girls are iconic. They were a different take on superheroes. They were so unique and really, really great show, like you said, in its entirety. But it's hard to argue against the Bob because even though, even though, we're cutting him off and saying this is SpongeBob and the rest to us isn't SpongeBob, and we have our own argument as to why that's the case. You can't argue with longevity and dominance. SpongeBob is the longest running Nickelodeon show in history. And to this day, you could walk into any classroom in America, I guarantee it, and play SpongeBob, and the kids are going to know who that is. I don't know if you can say the same again about Powerpuff Girls. And I feel like that's a separate argument to say, is the popularity, does that overshadow that some of the show has been mediocre in its
Some
entirety?
of the show,
A
the
lot of the
majority.
show. A lot of the show. But, I mean, does that demonstrate its greatness? That it's still the biggest and one of the most popular even now?
Like, you're obviously, this isn't an easy choice for me. Like, I'm sitting here, like,
Me too.
struggling.
I'm okay playing devil's advocate, though.
Okay, are we choosing SpongeBob to move on?
If I didn't choose SpongeBob, I think I'd hang this call up right now.
Wow.
My whole life would be a
Okay.
lie if I didn't choose SpongeBob. Are you kidding?
Okay. I put SpongeBob down. If you guys want to throw in for Powerpuff Girls, let us know.
Buddy, I got you a best friends forever ring before my wedding. I could not choose SpongeBob. Come on. I love
That was
Powerpuff
the
Girls.
one thing I asked for.
But
I had asked for it for so long. I wish that it was actually, if it was actually mechanical with the voice box, it'd be
dude,
massive.
yeah.
But like,
Yeah,
it's just that little ring and it spins around. But the best friends forever, ring. I want that. Anyway,
No, anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, so SpongeBob goes through Powerpuff Girls. Sorry. Love you. But
that
you're
does hurt.
you're an 8 seed that drew a number 1 seed in the first round. It's hard. It's hard. The tournament's hard.
All right, moving on. We've got the Fairly Odd Parents for Nickelodeon versus Ed, Ed, and Eddie for Cartoon Network.
That hurts like
I
a paper
know.
cut.
I know.
That hurts like a paper cut.
It's a tough one. I feel like this is going to begin the conversation that I have, which is that Cartoon Network, if this was a competition on who could use sound effects better in a cartoon, I would give it to Ed and Eddie. Like, the monkey noises, the like I don't know, the squeaks, the plops, the bangs, they're some of the most visceral. When Ed gets hit on the head with anything, it is not just like a bonk, it is a like he dies.
It's so loud. It's so loud.
He's dead.
Yeah.
And Ed and Eddie, there are so many characters that are great in Ed and Eddie. It's not just the main three. Like, you can think of Kevin and Sarah and Jimmy and Plank. Every time that it cuts to Plank and it's just a blank face with some music going in the background, and then Johnny's like, "That's exactly what I said." It gets me every time. It's actually funny. Ed and Eddie is actually funny, and I will say that I did do a Fairly Odd Parents rewatch not that long ago to see if it held up.
Yeah.
Some of it held up, some of it didn't. There are lots of Fairly Odd Parents lines that I love and quote all the time, and Doug Dimmadome, and they've got their own cast of characters that really carry it too.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So Fun fact, in college, my roommates and I moved into an apartment on campus, and tucked into the back of my roommate's closet was a plank that someone made
Uh-huh.
and left. So we had a plank for a year that we took everywhere when we went out. It was so funny. But the one thing that I feel like Fairly Odd Parents has to stand on, that I feel like it could stand up to a lot of shows on, are the themed and holiday coded TV specials that Fairly Odd Parents came up with are
You're
some of the
right.
most iconic TV moments in my childhood.
I'm gonna throw it right back though, because the themed episodes for Ed and Eddie are really good too. The
Yeah,
Halloween, Christmas, and
yeah,
episodes are really
they
good.
are, for
But
sure.
but Fairly Odd Parents. The reason why you're thinking of that is because those were the episodes that they sang songs.
Yeah, yeah, and they were just like fun, like Channel Surfers
Oh yeah, I
is
mean,
so good. Like I know it's a
Channel
single
Chasers.
episode. Channel Chasers, thank you. So good.
We used
Like
to rewatch that all the time
all
on
the
VHS.
time. I
Me
mean,
and
it's
you,
definitely
yeah.
nostalgia. Now, Fairly Odd Parents, to its demise in a way for me anyway, kind of has a SpongeBob issue.
It went on for too
It
long.
went on for too long and they lost me at Poof. I'm sorry. When Poof got introduced and then Timmy was passing Cosmo Wanda to like the other girl that came into the show, like it was too much. They went too far, and kind of the
And
same
they
thing.
changed their animation. It went to like Flash or something and looked
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah. So like kind of the same argument that I feel like the Fairly Odd Parents that I remember is not the entirety of the show. And
Right.
with SpongeBob, I feel like I could give it a pass because it's SpongeBob. With Fairly Odd
Well,
Parents,
because
I
SpongeBob
don't
is the
think
GOAT.
I
Like
can.
those episodes are the GOAT. Like
Yes,
they're really
yes.
good.
They're really good, and they defined my life in a lot of ways and still do. Fairly Odd Parents, I don't think I can give it the same pass. So I think we know how
We're
we're
giving
leaning.
it to Ed, Ed and Eddie.
I think I'm giving it to Ed, Ed, and Eddie. I don't know if you agree, but
I agree, dude. Mostly because I don't I really resonated with Ed, Ed and Eddie, especially Double D. Double D is me, like the
yeah,
just being so neurotic and like rule following. When I was growing up, that was how I was, and like he's a dork, I was a dork. Like I there's a lot about Ed and Eddie that resonated with me, and like the creativity and like you've got Timmy making wishes, but you have Eddie making like crazy theme parks out of cardboard that are scams to get quarters for candy. Is
yeah,
like that's funny. Like
it's
the
really
whole
funny.
premise of Ed and Eddie is funny, and I will stand by and say that movie, the last movie of Ed and Eddie, which is like the series finale,
Hmm.
is so good.
Yeah,
It's actually really good. Like I feel weird like giving it that much praise, but like no, it actually is that good.
yeah, yeah. No, I respect it. I respect it. I think Ed, Ed, and Eddie is the choice here, and that hurts to say. I love Fairly Odd Parents, but the game is the game.
I We're gonna move on. I put Ed and Eddie. This third matchup, I know who's gonna win it,
You
but it
know.
does break. I know, but it is going to break my heart because this is such a tough matchup.
Let's do it. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Avatar: The Last Airbender for Nickelodeon
Of course.
versus Samurai Jack. Right? I
Which,
know. I know. So like, I feel like we both know gut instinct is to just be like, it's Avatar.
yeah, of course.
I know.
Of
I know.
course.
But Samurai Jack is so fucking good, dude. It's actually ridiculously artful.
Of
Like
course.
it is
I
made
feel like
so
I
beautifully.
feel like I'm watching Tai Lung come back from Master Shifu right now. Like you see the outcome, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Like that
Oh,
hurts, you know? I get it. Like one walked so the other could run. There's no
oh
doubt.
God,
And it
dude.
stands on its own so well. I can't like oh, I feel like if Samurai Jack was against just about anything else,
Samurai Jack would
Samurai
win.
Jack would win. I feel like this is its one adversary that the one draw it didn't want, but
That's
it's why it's on the bracket that way.
No, I mean, this wasn't random. I put the
Hmm.
matchups that I thought were gonna be like tough
Yeah, 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 yeah.
together. right away to get it out of the way so that we can see who beats each other. But Samurai Jack has some of my favorite episodes of television I've ever seen in my life. Like the black and white episode is
Mm,
so cool.
yeah,
The way that the one character comes in while the other becomes invisible, and they're like just the clash is so good all the way through.
yeah.
The storytelling of Samurai Jack being mostly silent is what
Mhm.
makes it beautiful. Like, it's actually just like the vibes are there, you
And I
know?
love
Like,
that you have to watch it
yeah,
because it's silent most of the time. Like, this isn't a background show. You're sitting
no.
down and you're experiencing it, and I think that's so beautiful and so artistic.
Right, it's like the difference between playing Legend of Zelda versus Animal Crossing, where it's like,
Mm.
you still have to play, but the vibe is just so, like, peaceful, like,
Mhm,
versus,
mhm.
like, action most of the time.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. That was a tough one for me. We are going to move on with Avatar, obviously. I
yeah,
think it is
yeah.
just actually that is a show that deserves its own episode from us
Mm.
on I mean, single episodes of Avatar could get an entire episode out
For
of
sure.
us,
I could talk
right?
about an hour about an episode easy. There are episodes that legitimately changed my life. I know we talked about impact of animated series, and it was anime specifically last week, but Avatar is one that walks that line of it's just you learn so much about life and you learn so much about yourself and watching the characters grow and develop and change. It's amazing. It's
Some
amazing.
Uncle Iroh quote came up on my TikTok feed the other day, and I cried.
Dude, that happens to me like every other week. I watch them
Yeah.
and the music in the background, I literally start welling up immediately because and I sometimes I don't even remember them. Sometimes I'm like, I don't remember this in the show, but this is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And I needed
Uh,
this right now.
there are a lot of personal lessons that we walked away with from Avatar that are gonna stick with us forever, and
Totally.
so, yeah, I'll move it up, but I do wanna just throw my heart out that it's bleeding for Samurai Jack, though, like,
Yeah.
that is
No,
a
it's that's a
magnificent
painful
show.
one. That's a painful one. Also, I'm kind of mad at us. I know we're in different states, but I'm mad at us that we didn't go see the orchestra performance of Avatar's music because I really wanted to go see that. And
Talk
that's a
about something
really
that would
cool
just
thing.
have me sobbing the entire
Oh my
time,
god, dude. I saw a Snapchat that my friend took because he went last week of just like a clip of it, and I was already like welling up. Like it looked so good. It looked so
brief
good.
tangent, isn't that funny that we had that conversation forever ago that you're the music guy, because you, like, actually listen to songs, like,
Mhm.
that are out
Mhm.
nowadays, but and that I don't like music. That was like the big conversations that I don't like music, and
Yeah,
that
that's
is
not
not
true.
true. It's just
No.
not true though. I just like scores and like those things make me feel like
Yeah,
I can as soon as something from a show plays, am brought back to that feeling of when I watched it. So it's just
totally.
like a different kind of experience music wise
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, absolutely. Anyway, we gotta keep
Anyway,
moving. Avatar
I
moves
know
forward.
Danny Phantom for Nickelodeon versus Ben 10.
Mm. This is an
Do you have
interesting one.
a gut feeling on this one?
I
Like,
do.
which one are you leaning towards?
Passing my Omnitrix.
I'm
You
leaning
know,
into Ben
I'm leaning
10,
Ben
baby.
10, man.
Now, I
And to
think
be
Ben 10
fair
is forgotten about as
oh, yeah.
one of the best franchises to ever come out of Cartoon Network because you have original Ben 10, then you have uh oh gosh, I actually don't know the order of the shows. It's like I don't remember. There's
Yeah.
like 3 different
There's 3
series
different
of
series
Ben
of Ben
10 that
10.
come
Yeah.
out. Ben 10's great.
It's the
Ben
best.
10's super good.
Super, super
As
cool.
far as like those action like superhero-esque shows go, like he was a little kid with superpowers. He just got to
Mhm.
choose what they were at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and, like, kudos to them for coming out with a show in, like, the heyday of comic book superhero shows.
Mhm.
Everywhere, and to still stand out and be as cool and memorable as he was back then was, like, a tough thing to do. That was a tough task, and Ben 10 stood on his own. Every kid wanted an Omnitrix. Like, you could scream the names of some of his superhero, aliases, and, like, kids knew what you were talking about. Like, he was big, and rightfully so. He earned that. Danny Phantom
Danny
was a cool
Phantom,
show for
yeah,
sure.
I mean, we just same reason, right? It's superhero-esque.
Yeah.
He is a superhero. He's just got ghost powers.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and they had great villains as well. Both shows had great villains. You've got Vlad or whatever, the one that wants to like date his mom and all
Yeah.
this stuff. Like, there's some good arcs in Danny Phantom. The
Yeah.
box ghost.
Yeah. The
Um,
box ghost.
uh, but I think overall, I have to give it to Ben 10. I
Mhm.
think just the setting and the storytelling and the lore goes deeper. I think
For
In
sure.
Ben 10. You start the story with Ben, but the real story started 50 years ago with Ben's grandpa and like
Yeah.
and the Plumbers and all this whole organization that you'd like learn about.
Yeah, and
There,
Danny
I
Phantom
think
just
it's
doesn't
got more
have that.
substance.
It just doesn't have that. Yeah, to be fair, I haven't watched Danny Phantom in a really long time. I don't think it would change my answer, but yeah, I just think Ben 10 is just a deeper show. Like you said, there's just more to it. There's more substance to it. And Danny Phantom was good, no doubt, but comparing the
Yeah,
two, I feel like it's Ben 10 all the way.
I agree. All right, let's see. We've got Jimmy Neutron for Nickelodeon versus, get this, Dexter's Lab. Well, Well, like I said, I tried to keep the head-to-heads at the start pretty themed out. So Jimmy Neutron, little kid scientist versus
Yeah,
Dexter, little kid
little kid
scientist.
scientist. Yeah, yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm gonna tell you which way I'm leaning because I definitely have what I think is a fresher rewatch. I
I'm sure.
watched Jimmy Neutron not that long ago. Jimmy Neutron is fucking funny, dude.
Dude, yeah.
Like, like actually funny all the way through. It's only 3 seasons, and that's something that's going for Jimmy Neutron compared to like when we're talking about Fairly Odd Parents and SpongeBob.
Mhm.
Jimmy Neutron ended.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So we have like a full look at the show.
yeah, and again, core memory, we saw that movie in theaters.
I love
Me
that
and you,
movie.
man, we saw so many movies in
So many
theaters
great
together.
movies together, man. So many memories of that. But no,
Brief tangent. I the other day thought of you, and I should have texted you about this, but I literally said righteous doodly doodly doo doo. Do you know where that's from?
Yeah.
Come on, let's
Yeah.
hear it.
Oh, I'm blanking.
That's Barnyard, brother. We saw
Of
that in
course, we
theaters
just
together
talked
too.
about that the other day too.
Yeah, we saw that together too, where he goes, "Dude, I got an arm,
Yeah,
righteous
righteous.
doodly doodly doo doo."
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, it's so good.
We saw
We'll
so
talk
many
about
movies
Barnyard the other
together.
day too. So
Oh
good.
yeah, dude.
But no,
But that's not on this list.
I agree. Jimmy Neutron, I love that show, and I feel like we talk about comfort shows all the time and shows that like when we were bored or when we were kids that we just kept going back to. Jimmy Neutron was one of those shows that I would put on every single time it was on. I remember that movie, seeing that movie with you was so awesome. That movie's so good. And I mean, you want to talk about side characters that had substance and are hilarious on their own. Carl Weezer and Sheen. Sheen got his own spinoff that we're not counting in this argument for obvious reasons, but
It would never make this list.
yeah, but in Jimmy Neutron, they were both great. Jimmy's dad is great. His dynamic with his mom is hilarious. Like there's just so many aspects of that show to love, and no matter when you watch it, I feel like you can laugh at a different part of it too.
No, and the longevity for Jimmy Neutron has come out in different ways because that show is so memeable.
Mm-hmm.
That like I see clips of Hugh Neutron all the time. To this
Yeah,
day, I
yeah.
see Carl Weezer singing "Dancing in the Dark," like like, and that's hilarious because his voice is so funny. But
For the amount of times
yeah,
that I've used the meme, that's like I'm gonna have one more and that'll be it.
yeah,
And he's like, oh, like every time I'm full and I want to take one more bite, I say that out loud like every single time.
yeah. Dexter's Lab. There's plenty to love about Dexter's Lab, and I most of my quotes actually come from Mandrake or Mandark. Mandark. Yeah, it's Mandark.
Mandark.
With the ha 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 ha. Like that whole episode where it's all him and he's like brushing his teeth. He's going brush 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 brush. Like That's funny to me, and that has stuck
That's
with me for a
hilarious,
long
yeah.
time, and Dexter's Lab had a lot of the blueprint for Jimmy Neutron. I mean, like, you have, uh and you have cool anime references from back in the day. He builds, like, a Gundam, and they fight, and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, like, there's cool stuff to like about Dexter's Lab. I
Totally.
think, though, as far as if we're going humor alone, Jimmy Neutron
Not even close.
is just so funny. I'm gonna put Jimmy Neutron, and I just wanna let you know that I really had a little bit of a belief that Cartoon Network was gonna run away with this today, but we've got a good mix so far.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt the same way. I know we mentioned that, like, just the pool to draw from just the 2000s is much more Cartoon Network heavy, and so we thought that they might just outmatch them because of that, but surprisingly, Nickelodeon is holding their own. I'm excited to see how the rest of this goes. I know we gotta keep it moving, though. Um,
Yeah.
so what's
Um, okay.
who we got?
Number 6, we have Invader Zim
Mm,
versus The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I tried to put 2 gross shows
yeah,
together.
yeah. So, okay, r right off the bat, I didn't watch Invader Zim a ton.
Oh, I have.
So, yeah, and I'm sure you
I
have, so
watch that to
you're
this
gonna be able to
day.
make this pick a lot more confidently than I am.
Shit, because I just watched Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy the other day, and I was dying. I watched
Yeah,
just
it's
one
funny,
random
man.
episode, and it's so funny, and the editing in that show is really funny, and when they do gross things, it gosh, I don't know, Billy and Mandy is a weird show,
Yeah,
but so is Invader Zim.
yeah,
Invader Zim, I think, gets the edge, though, because Invader Zim does gosh, it does the horror and the comedy in such a blend that, like, if I had Invader Zim on when I was a kid and my mom came into the room, I would get in trouble because, like, she's like, "What the fuck are you watching?" Kind of thing,
that's
right?
so funny knowing your mom too. That's
I know,
hilarious.
but yeah, like, Invader Zim was almost, like, taboo, like, "No, you
Mm,
can't watch the show, it's too weird."
yeah,
Billy and Mandy, I got away with because, like, that was by the time I was watching shows without supervision, so,
right, right, and Invader
um,
Zim came from that era of Nickelodeon, like the Ren and Stimpy era, that was just weird, like like,
yeah.
really over the top
I
weird
think
for
I have to
cartoons.
give it to Invader Zim. There, like, I can literally name episodes like Dark Harvest is
Mm,
that's the one where he goes and steals organs out of the other kids, like livers and
yeah.
kidneys and stuff, and shoves them into himself. And by the end of the episode, he's a giant monster. And when he talks, you can see the guts and intestines in his mouth. Like, it's so gross.
That's
But
crazy. That's crazy.
I
That's
think
crazy.
I think the
Like,
animation of Invader Zim and the voice acting and the, like, the rivalry between him and Dib is so funny because both of them are incompetent in their own ways
mhm.
that, like, neither are winners at the end of the day
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. That
anything
just
that ever
convinced that they
happens,
are.
but it's just dark. Like, there's there's just a lot of losing in that show, but it's
Totally.
so funny. I think I have to give it to Invader Zim if you're deferring to me.
I'm deferring to you on that one. I wouldn't be the one to ask, but I agree with everything you're saying from what I remember about it.
I wish I could speak more eloquently on Invader Zim. I wasn't, like, totally prepared to come in and talk specifically on each show. But Invader Zim, I will still go rewatch it.
Mm,
It's 3 seasons. It's quick.
yeah, yeah.
It has a movie that came out on Netflix, Enter the Florpus, which is really funny. There's plenty to love about that, where Dib has been waiting for Zim to, like, come out of hiding, and so but he's like a fat little goblin man by the time he comes out, and Zim's like, "What happened to you?" Like,
That's awesome.
he's like, I'm waiting for my nemesis Dib," and he's like, "I'm Dib," and he's like, "What? You're ugly." Like, it's so funny.
I gotta go
Anyway,
watch that. That's hilarious.
my life as a teenage robot.
Ooh, poll.
You haven't thought about my life as a teenage
People,
robot in a
yeah.
while. Versus Teen Titans.
Oh.
See, you when I say it like that, you're like, "I'm gonna give it to Teen Titans." My Life as a Teenage Robot is fantastic. I put them against each other because both of them are anime adjacent.
Right.
Uh,
I
My Life
understand the
as a Teenage
pairing.
Robot being more in line with something like Astro Boy
Mhm.
versus Teen Titans, which is more in line with, like, modern anime.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you've got that, like, throwback to classic animation with the eyes and, like, how the design of the aesthetics of that show
Yeah.
are older.
Yeah.
Um, I know that in our heart, we're just gonna give it to Teen Titans because,
I
man, we loved that show.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I mean, I know we just brought up, like, the comic book
Yeah.
hero saturated era, and Teen Titans was an amazing part of that era. I feel like it's
Yeah.
tough to pick against Teen Titans. I mean, I I remember, Teenage Robot really, really fondly. Like, it was a good show, don't get me wrong, and like you said, like, there was a lot of vibes that pointed to and paid homage to classic anime series, and I love that too. Especially being on Nickelodeon, I feel like that was rarer. With Cartoon Network having things like Toonami, like, the anime references were a lot more common on that channel. I feel like on Nickelodeon, Teenage Robot really stood out on its own in a lot of ways, um,
Yeah.
with that design
That's
and
a
with
great
that look.
show.
It's a great show. Yeah, I can't argue against that.
But we are gonna give it to Teen Titans. It's okay for us to
1000%.
have a couple brief ones that
Yeah.
we talk about quickly. I think that these last ones will be kind of fast. And then, am I re-bracketing this? Are we trying to bring it down to 1, or are we gonna just move on from this head to head?
We'll move on.
See,
Let's do this
we
next
can
week.
see how many Nick shows won versus how many Cartoon Network shows
Yeah.
won and give it a winner.
Yeah, and we can also, if we wanted to re-bracket it next time and kinda keep this thing rolling, we can do that too, because I feel like the future matchups will be fun. We can kinda make it its
Okay.
own mini series. But yeah, for today, let's do this last one, and then we'll pass the
Don't
sugar
you
one more
love it,
time.
listeners, when we, like, do all of the planning in the podcast instead of before? Anyway,
Yeah, anyway,
uh
that's neither here nor there. Tune in.
number 8, we have Rocket Power versus Codename Kids Next Door, and I think this is a slam dunk for K&D.
Yeah, I mean, like, woogity, woogity, woogity forever, but I can't give it to Rocket Power. I love Rocket Power. I grew up skateboarding, like, every day. It was a
No,
big
yeah,
part of my
I
childhood.
had the actual, what did they call him? Was it Spud?
Spud, yeah.
Yeah, I had the helmet with the shark on it, you know?
Oh, yeah. I had, I had Twister's helmet, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did, because he was my favorite character when we were kids.
Yeah, Rocket Power, I don't remember as fondly, and if it was on, it was almost like this, right? If that was what was on Nickelodeon, I looked at what was on Cartoon Network
Mm,
and just kind of switched.
yeah.
So
I loved
maybe I
Rocket
wasn't
Power.
cool enough for Rocket Power, but I just but Codename Kids Next Door, on the other hand, I was cool enough for that show, and that
That's a show.
movie rocks. Operation Zero.
Yeah.
And I talked to you about this off screen recently. The voice actor for Father is so good in that
So
show,
good,
dude.
dude.
His inflections of like, I just want those kids next door.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how he does it, but
Yeah.
it's so funny
I thought
just
you'd
for
want
him to
Rocky
talk.
Road. Like,
Yeah, where the inflections of like talking into anger into talking into anger
yeah.
into talking
Yeah.
is like really great.
It really sounds
I don't
like
know.
he's holding back, like, full-blown screaming every time
No,
he talks.
and beyond Father, like, I kind of wanted to see what Codename Kids Next Door would look like next to Powerpuff Girls, because
Mm,
Rogues Gallery, I just talked about how much I like the villains in Powerpuff Girls. I can go on and on about the K&D villains. You've got Night Brace,
yeah.
you've got the Toilinator, Mr. Boss. You've got
Yeah.
like so many awesome side villains. The Lunch Lady. Uh, uh, Amazing villains in Codename Kids Next Door.
Totally.
So, and I do you have a favorite K&D member?
I think I gotta go with number 5.
Number 5.
I like number 5,
Number
yeah,
Number 5 was the coolest out of all of
for
them.
sure.
Like actually like chill
Yeah,
and cool.
yeah.
And she had really cool plot in the show with her sister
Mhm.
being a main villain from the teens.
Yeah.
Um Yeah, she had, like, actual plot in, like, the storytelling. I always liked, number 2.
Yeah.
N Number 2, mostly because those episodes are, like, themed episodes. There's, like, the noir episode where he's a detective, like,
Yeah.
oh,
I remember
so
that.
good.
No, I like
Anyway,
number 5. I feel like number 5 was, like, not in your face, but like you said, the more character development you got and the more background you got on her, she was really, really cool. Um,
yeah, her solo episodes against, Candy Beard,
yeah.
those were really good, and Heinrich, right? Or Heine, like, that's what
I
he call what you
yeah,
call
yeah, yeah.
Heine, and he turns into a chocolate person, like, there's there's some great references all through K&D, because that's all Indiana Jones.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, I mean, the parodies go deep in K&D.
Yeah.
I think that
Easy
that's
pick.
a show that deserves more love than it has currently when we talk about the nostalgic shows. I'm like, no, K&D deserves to be up there.
Totally, totally. Okay, so Candy gets the nod. No arguments there. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this bracket,
Oh,
we
we've got 2 more.
we got 2 more.
I've got 2 more
Let's
head
do
to
it.
heads. I'm sorry. I'm
No, no,
sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. I
It's
jumped the
gonna be
gun.
maybe another kind of longer episode because we have to talk about Phantom Menace again.
Let's talk about Phantom
Uh,
Menace. And that's not gonna be quick, but that's okay. Let's do our 2
it's
more
okay.
head-to-heads. I love that.
I think that these are kind of slam dunks. I had to include them because these are my 2 favorite Cartoon Network shows. Here we go. Number
Oh,
9,
of course.
Chalk Zone
Love Chalk
versus
Zone.
Regular Show, and I have to give it to Regular Show.
Gotta give it to regular
It
show, sorry.
No, I mean, Chalk Zone's great.
It
I
is.
really do love Rudy's got the chalk. Like, it's
Definitely.
and Snap's a great character.
Yeah,
The art style of Chalk Zone was so unique for its time going
absolutely.
into the Chalk Zone,
The
and everything is drawn
portals are
like
so
chalk is
cool.
really cool.
It's really, really cool. Yeah.
I think that that would be a better matchup against Fairly Odd Parents for the same thing where, like, Timmy makes wishes, Rudy draws it.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
it's his
it
creativity and
does
his
kind of have that
imagination came
monkey's
from
paw.
him. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, I really wanted to be better at drawing after watching Chalk Zone. So, like,
totally.
I I think I can give it its accolades, but Regular Show to me is one of the best cartoons ever made.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Hands down. So regular show it is. Okay, I know one of the other picks in the last
yeah, the
head-to-head.
last one here is Rugrats All Grown Up
Mm.
versus Adventure Time, and I'm gonna give it to Adventure Time,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
big
But
shock. It's Adventure
yeah, I
Time.
know, it really came down to I mean, Rugrats All Grown Up is a really good show, I remember it being a good show, but, like, it's not on the same level, and so when I was making this list, at the end of the day, I looked and I was like, Nickelodeon doesn't have shows past what this list is, like, to be talked about, whereas there are more Cartoon Network shows that could go as a head-to-head.
Mhm.
But that's where we ran into our problem with, like, Nickelodeon has some live action shows. So in the future, I might need to take some of those, like Drake and Josh's, just to pad what their resume is.
Totally,
Because I don't
totally.
think that they have enough cartoons to, like, have this conversation.
Yeah, and I feel like Cartoon Network shows also do, especially shows like Regular Show and Adventure Time, like, they have so much plot that continues throughout the show, that, like, builds on itself, and they're just deeper shows. K&D was the same way, like, a lot of Nickelodeon shows were episodic, and they're great, but, like, there's something special about a show that you can follow over time, and the characters change over time, and, like, things develop over time, that I feel like is hard to argue against.
Yeah. Well, Adventure Time deserves its own episode from me
Mm,
because honestly, like, if I were to get into it right now, I would be crying, I'd be laughing, I'd be up and down, I'd be, I could talk about Adventure Time forever. I think Regular Show is my favorite Cartoon Network show, but I can
mm.
recognize that Adventure Time is the best.
Yeah, yeah,
And a very close second for me. I
for
just
sure.
like, it's just in that conversation. I'm interested in the comments. Who would win Regular Show versus Adventure Time?
That's a good one. You talk about a head-to-head, let's see that in the comments, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's see that in the comments. I'll let you guys do the fighting on my behalf on that one. But yeah, anyway, so I know that segment ran a little long.
We're not
But I think
surprised.
I think, I mean, that really should just become one of our taglines is, that segment ran long.
I know this episode's a little longer than planned.
Yeah, every time,
Again,
but,
yes.
we just can't help ourselves. But let's pass the sugar, buddy.
Last time.
Let's move on and talk about Star Wars Episode 1,
You knew it was
A
coming, guys.
Phantom Menace. The
Phantom
Phantom Menace.
Menace. Let me get my notes. Jesus. Okay.
Is that how we're starting this? Jesus.
Jesus, man. Yeah. Phantom Menace, I don't know, like, how do you have a movie made in 1999 and it's worse than the 1970s? I don't get it.
In
And I'm
every regard?
just about, like,
Just about.
just about.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get into it, but like just about. I mean, definitely like some positive moments and things that happen that set up the rest of the movies that I'm excited about and that I liked a lot. Like Anakin's backstory is cool. I know end up talking about the midichlorians later, but like the Anakin to Jesus comparison right off the bat was kind of crazy to me. It's actually my first note on this movie.
Was Anakin is Jesus?
Anakin equals Jesus with a question mark, because I was like, wait a minute. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
There is no father. What?
What? She's like, I don't know how it happened. I was like, come on. What are we doing? Did you find him in a manger too? Like, what?
Yeah, could you imagine? Could you imagine being a woman and then just one day you're pregnant? That would be terrifying, would it not?
Oh, dude. I can't imagine it. We talked about this a little bit off camera, and I didn't know when we were going to get into this, but we're going to do it. My note says, why is 1999 Star Wars so racist?
It's super racist.
It's super racist. And my thing is,
it's not a little racist. No. It is super racist because, like, all of the aliens, all of them, the Trade Federation are all Asian.
They're all extremely stereotypical Asian. And my thing is, what did you call them? Oh, yeah. Aliens. They could sound like anything. Number one. And number two, in the last two Star Wars we watched, in 4 and 5, they have aliens that speak alien languages, and you read the subtitles. Why can't you do that? That's such an easier choice to where it's more realistic than them speaking English in an accent that shouldn't exist in the Star Wars universe. Like, it's
not just the accent, it's the actions are very stereotypical and racist.
Yeah.
Am I racist for quoting Phantom Menace in their voices? Because that is my favorite thing to do. When he goes, "Take them away," I think it's so funny. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. Like, that's so funny to me.
I don't get it, man. It's so funny. I laughed out loud at it, but I had to make a note of like, really? Like, that's the direction we decided to go?
I like that you started with the Trade Federation because Watto is the most racist character in Star Wars ever. If you ask me, I'm like, George Lucas, what do you think about Jewish people? I think that they have massive noses and want money. Is what he
That's
said.
what I think.
Oh my god, dude. Watto is horrifically racist.
Yeah.
But I love him. I love his quotes. I love how sleazy he is. Like, Watto as a character is different than... I have to separate him from that. Just be like... Get away from the stereotypes because I like him as a character.
Yeah. He's a great character for who he is, but man,
it is inexcusable. It is exactly what you said. For 1999, what are you doing?
I looked up the year the movie came out because I'm like, hold on. And then when I saw it, I was like, that is awful. Like, it's been over 20 years, and that's what you decided to do?
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. That's a very noticeable thing in Phantom Menace.
Also, next note, and it doesn't shine much better of a light on the Star Wars franchise, is the Jedi's need for young boys an innocence and lack of fear thing. Is that what they're going for? He said it. Yoda said it about Luke in The Empire Strikes Back, and I understood he was a teenager then. So I was like, okay, he's too old, right? Anakin's like 8, I think, and so when he's like, no, he's too old, I was kind of like, why? He's clearly a kid. But then he went into like the fear conversation about like I see fear in his heart, and fear leads to hatred, and hatred leads to violence. Like I get it. I understand like the meaning, I think. But I was still kind of like, still too old? Like,
No, I think to your point, that is what they're trying to avoid, and if they get them young enough, like, to indoctrinate in their religious cult,
right.
that, that it's easier to let go of the material world,
Yeah. Yeah.
or your attachments, uh, without having fear.
Right.
So
Right.
yes, I think that you answered your question, but at the same time, I understand like the ethics and moral questions that you're having of too young to be a Jedi or too young for you, Master Yoda.
Right. Yeah. what what are you saying right now? What
Yeah.
conversation are we having?
To my island I must go.
Yeah. Mm, yummy food. Good food,
Oh
yes.
man.
Um, let's
No
see.
list.
Yeah, just like little things. Like I guess the Gun Guns called it a blaster shield for a reason. I laughed when it was blocking all the blaster shots and then the droids just walked through it. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
why? That was so anticlimactic for me. They didn't even hesitate. They just like, oh, that that was inconvenient a little. I was
Walked
like,
on
wait a
through.
minute.
Um
Who designs a shield
I
just
like
for
that you said
blasters?
little things. There are big things I don't like about this movie. Uh, most of the movie. So here's where my problem comes in: is that I argue that in Phantom Menace, you get two of the best scenes in all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
In all of Star Wars. You get the pod race, which I think is magnificent. I
Awesome.
think that the pod race is great.
So good.
The sound
I loved
effects
it.
are amazing. The way that the engines rev by, and I have fond memories of the pod racing video game on my Sega
Yeah.
Dreamcast.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am an
yeah.
old person, guys. I'm an old man, okay? The pod racing game was peak for
So
me
good.
back then. That was my Mario Kart.
Yeah, really, really
So,
good.
the pod race is a fantastic sequence. Um, and the Duel of Fates is one of the best scenes of all of Star Wars. Where I have fun facts for you. Uh, did you know, Tré,
Mhm.
that the Obi-Wan Darth Maul fight,
Mhm.
you are actually watching a slowed down version of what they filmed, because what they filmed was so fast with the choreography in that way, like that they were like, no, it's actually unbelievable to be moving that
Wow.
fast.
Wow.
So in the movie, you're watching a slowed down version of that fight.
That's nuts. I actually my note on this was I wrote Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul's fight scene is by far my favorite choreographed lightsaber battle so far. Like I know Luke versus Vader is like much more impactful in a way and like famous and it's really, really good. But this was like another level where I was like, okay, we finally got some professional choreographers on set and we got some people who could pull this off. Like that looked like
Yeah.
a Jedi lightsaber battle for
Yes,
sure.
I think that was even we haven't watched Return of the Jedi yet
Mhm.
because that's the end.
Right. Right.
But even considering that fight in my head, right? No, you're right. Duel of Fates is the first time that they really stepped up to the plane. We're like, what can we get away with in a lightsaber battle?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when Darth Maul walks up to them and holds out and it goes, and then the other one goes, little kid me lost my
Yeah.
shit
I
when I
bet,
saw that.
dude. I bet.
I saw all of the prequels in theaters.
Mm.
So like I have crazy theater memories from this. Revenge of the Sith is probably my top 5 theater experiences I've ever had.
Mhm. I can understand why.
But Phantom Menace, that blew my mind. I was like, "No, wait, this is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Now there are 2 of them?"
Yeah.
'Cause
Take him
but
away.
yeah, take them away.
No,
But
dude. And like even just Darth Maul's choreography of having the dual-sided lightsaber and then getting half of it knocked out by Obi-Wan and
Mhm.
then he's just as good single-sided. I was like, "Oh, Oh, snaps for you, sir. That was sexy as hell. Like, so, so good. The whole thing was so good.
It really is a tragedy that Darth Maul is only in this movie
Mm,
because I'm also a big fan of the Clone Wars TV show
yeah,
where Darth Maul comes back and is a major player, and he is a great character. It
I
makes me
bet.
wish that they had redone this whole prequel thing in a different way that allowed Darth Maul to be almost like a main antagonist all the way through
I think he'd be a great one.
because he is, because
Yeah,
I've seen the Clone Wars show.
yeah,
He
yeah,
is
yeah,
a
yeah.
great villain all the way through. It just isn't in the movies. Uh, so that's a tragedy. Is that this is going to be your only Darth Maul experience? Because I know
Yeah.
that you're not going to watch the Clone Wars show, but uh, ridiculously good, and so it's a bummer that that's the case. But so I talked about the two scenes that are the best scenes of all of Star Wars, and then the rest of the movie is dog shit,
It's
if you ask me. I don't like Phantom Menace at all, dude. There
yeah.
was a couple years ago, I literally said to myself, I watched Phantom Menace, and I said, I think I'm done. I think I'm done watching Phantom Menace. I don't need to watch Phantom Menace for the rest of my life. It was like a peaceful moment for me where it was like letting go of like this like toxic part of myself
Yeah,
where
that
I
you
was
felt like
just
you
like,
have to hold on to.
yeah, I'm like, no, I'm free now, like kind of thing.
I'm okay without it.
And then I've had to watch Phantom Menace like 2 or 3 more times since I made that decision. Uh, I do not put Phantom Menace on for fun anymore. Like I
Yeah.
used to watch all of Star Wars for fun. I don't do that anymore.
Mm,
I did show Jack Phantom Menace, and he loved it all the way through, and it gave me a little bit of like a fun moment in my heart where I was like, maybe it's a good kids movie, and then I was like, no, it's not,
don't
because because so much of this movie is tied up in political BS
yeah, and they're just
of
talking,
blockades
bro.
and trade federations and
Uh,
negotiations and
in a vote. Like, oh my god, dude. Like, so much of it
it,
is just standing around talking in monotone voices, followed by racist Asian voices. Like, and I'm just like followed by Sebastian the Crab. Like, the whole time I was just like, what are we talking about? And why is this 8-year-old just standing there with you watching? Like, we could be doing so much more with Anakin. There could
brother.
be so much more to be done right now.
I've spent so much of my brain power on Phantom Menace and the prequels in general that like I have my own like rewrite in my head of how I would do the prequels because I thought about it so much. And I'm like, if you want to say Anakin's too old, then he should be a teenager in this movie,
Right,
not a little kid.
right.
Like I think that you started it just at a weird time. He should be more in line with Padme because it's weird that Padme is like a queen while Anakin's this little
Little
boy,
boy,
and
yeah,
then the rest of the movies are a love story between them.
yeah,
I think that they framed this whole thing just incorrectly.
yeah. And again,
And
like, he was so young in this movie that, like, you wonder how much younger did they want him to be? Like, if he was, like,
yeah,
a teenager like Luke was, that would make a lot more sense, and it would fit with Padme, like you said, but you could say, like, yeah, he's not really a kid, and, like, teenagers have their own view of the world in a sense, so, like, to let go
yeah,
of
we
that and
we
really trust the
experience
Force would
that
be
in
difficult.
the next movie with Attack of the
Mhm.
Clones. He's more teenager
Yeah,
age. So I think that you just needed to start with Attack
that.
of the Clones version of Anakin in Phantom Menace
Yeah.
and go from there. But gosh, man, yeah, I don't know. Phantom Menace drives me up a wall.
Yeah.
It's not my least favorite Star Wars movie. Is the other thing. Like is that not crazy?
That is kind of crazy. Well, I'm gonna prepare myself for that
Yeah,
because
well,
I was fully prepared for this to be the worst one because, dude, there's just for everything that they take the time to pay
I'm looking at
attention.
the audience because you said that. He thought Phantom Menace was going to be the worst
I
one.
did because for so many things that they take the time to pay attention to such little details, there were so many things that were just like, why would you do that? Like
Uh
that
huh.
doesn't make any sense. Like why is Anakin's safe place in the cockpit of an open star cruiser? with blasters going by his head. I can see you, little boy. I'm sniping you. You know, like,
Yeah.
and then it's like that whole scene is like, oh, it's on autopilot, and like suddenly no one pays attention to where Annie is, and they just like watch him leave, and like no one mentions it. No one's like, oh my god, where is he gone? No one does anything. They just continue on with their mission as if he's still sitting there in the fucking
He
hangar.
saves the day. He goes up and blows up
Right.
the
And that's the other
but
thing
that's
is like,
crazy.
I think this is also the first time that we've seen the Force, kind of like we talked about in Rogue One. Like, the Force, even if you don't fully trust it, and maybe if you do because he's a little kid and he doesn't know any differently, but it's like, it's something you can use, but it's also something that's like passive, like grace almost. Because there's so much of that scene where he wasn't really doing anything. Like, he thought he was, but it was just kind of working out in his favor.
Mm.
And it's like, we kind of saw that in Rogue One, where it's like, this blind guy probably should have gotten killed a long time ago, but his trust in the Force in some way, shape, or form kept him safe, even if his actions were irresponsible. And so I feel like it
Mhm.
was kind of a cool way to see that side of the Force, where it's like, it's not just something that you can utilize for your own gain. It's also something that is like with you and around you and like a protector of sorts. And that's why the Jedi trust it, which I thought was kind of cool. But like outside of that, it was just kind of like, what? Like, that's how you set up him being a hero for the first time?
Mm.
You know, it was just like a weird box to put that part of the movie into.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This movie sucks, okay?
Yeah,
This
it's
movie
it's
sucks.
not good. It's not good. We're nice most of the time. It's not good. And we've glazed
No.
Star Wars so far, but
Yeah, no.
Jesus, man.
Dan Whenever me and Dan get into our monthly debate about Star Wars, he calls me like a defender of the prequels, and I'm like, I'm not a defender of the prequels. This movie is bad. There are things I like about it. Qui-Gon Jinn is my favorite Jedi ever.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool.
When the shield walls come up and separate him and Darth Maul, that little moment where Qui-Gon sits down and meditates while Darth Maul is pacing back
Pacing
and
and
forth
watching him,
like,
yeah.
"I'm gonna fucking kill you," and
That's
Qui-Gon is there just breathing, and then it comes up and he's back in.
mhm.
I'm like, "That is exactly what a Jedi would do." I'm like, "That's amazing." Like, that just little moment of like, "No, I'm okay." Like,
You could really
I
like
can trust the Force.
you could frame a picture of both of them in frame in that scene, because that's such a perfect juxtaposition of Jedi versus the Sith too.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
it's
yeah,
it's
he's
so yin
walking
and
back and
yang.
forth like a tiger in a cage,
Yeah,
like, "I want
yeah,
to."
yeah.
And Qui-Gon's sitting there just like, "Okay." No,
I
he
gotta center
takes his
myself.
breath.
Yeah, so
And you
cool.
can see that Obi-Wan is struggling with that moment of anger because he does the same thing. Like, he kind of is standing at the wall ready to go instead
Mhm.
of taking that Jedi moment
To
and,
sit
like,
back, yeah. You know,
yeah,
we talk about moments of Star Wars, like facial expressions, moments of silence, little things that they do that like really punch a message home and a moment home. And one of the quotes I wrote from the Duel of Fates is, there's a slight pause on Qui-Gon's face where he looks fearful. And I feel like it ties Yoda's fear discussion with Anakin so well, because it shows Qui-Gon, one of his attacks just aren't working. He's on his back foot and he kind of just pauses for a second. And then it shows Darth Maul's face step forward and then he gets stabbed after getting jabbed in the nose. And it's as soon as he loses his confidence and he looks shaken at all, that's when he loses the fight. And I feel like that's such a cool, like, personification of what Yoda was talking about in a way, where it's like, you have to be so calm and you have to like know that it's going to work out the way that it's supposed to. And as soon as Qui-Gon lost that, we lost our boy. And I loved that moment.
I'm gonna send you a clip from Star Wars Rebels, I think is when it happened,
Mm-hmm.
but Ben Kenobi, old Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Kenobi on
Yeah.
Tatooine. It's him and Darth Maul's last fight. And this moment in Phantom Menace means so much more to me after seeing that. That's the thing about the prequels, is that the movies suck. the Star Wars is good
Yeah.
because, like, the world building, the Clone War era of Star Wars, the storytelling that happens inside of that period of time
Mhm.
is so good. And so when you take the extra things like the Samurai Jack episodes of Star Wars that he did,
Yeah.
the what's his name? It's Gendy Tartakovsky or something. It's something
Mhm.
crazy like that.
Mhm. I know who you're talking about.
Um yeah, he has his little run on Star Wars. Then you have Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Then you have Star Wars Rebels. And like, when you take all of these extra things that add to the stories of the movies, it
Mm.
makes me go, And that's why Dan calls me a prequel defender. But I'm like, I'm not a prequel defender. I'm like, the original trilogy are good movies and good Star Wars. The
Mhm.
sequels are bad movies and bad Star Wars.
Yeah.
And the prequels are bad movies, good
Good
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. And that's not, I feel like when you say you're not a prequel defender, you're not a defender of the prequel movies. You can
No.
appreciate the Star Wars. The movies just didn't do a good job of representing that Star Wars in movie form. I feel
Yes.
like that's fair.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly my point. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you that clip so that you can check that out
Cool.
because
I'm excited to see it.
I think it ties a neat little bow on just this little conversation about Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul and that specific fight.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a
I
really good
also
one.
want you to keep in mind that Obi-Wan won that fight without having the high ground. I want you to remember that, and we're gonna we're gonna come back to it later.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
he definitely did not have the high
they did
ground, and
not at all.
he did it anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, overall, Phantom Menace is almost always consistently ranked super low on my list.
Hmm.
We'll get to the actual number for when we recap at the end of the series, like what my rankings are.
Hmm.
But for today's sake, did you have any more that you wanted to talk about Phantom Menace? I mean, there's only
See.
so much to say other than it's really just not a good
It's just
movie.
not a good movie. No, that
Did you watch that
Qui-Gon.
clip I sent you of George
I did.
Lucas?
Yeah.
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 I might have
I
gone
might
a
have
little
gone a
too
little too
far in
far.
some places.
That's
That is one
so
of my
funny.
favorite clips of all time.
No, that was really it. The Qui-Gon quote or the Qui-Gon note I had was the last one I wrote down. Um, so yeah, overall, just not a good movie, especially in comparison to the movies we've seen already in this series. Like I said, I love the character setup for the future movies. I feel like there are moments that are really good, but other than that, man, it was a tough watch. I'm gonna be honest. It was like I probably didn't start taking notes until like over halfway through. Like the first half of the movie, outside of like pod racing, I was like, what the fuck am I watching, man? And then I like look up at how much was left and I'm like, okay, I actually have to have something written down. Like I need to start writing some stuff down. But I just had nothing to say for
Yeah,
most of
I
the
totally
movie.
feel you, man.
Um,
And I really dislike this movie, but it is a movie I quote constantly. And
mhm,
I brought this up to you, but I'm like, if I ever fix anything, like if I'm doing plumbing on my sink or
yeah,
whatever, and I fix it, I go, it's working. And yeah, just stay in that cockpit. I say that all the
yeah,
time, and there are just little lines that go all through this movie that I quote.
yeah,
You know, I'm not a slave. My name is Anakin.
yeah.
Like, oh
No,
man, and I'm a
de-
person. Yeah.
definitely positive things about it, but overall, it's shit. And to no surprise, it's gonna go. Let me think. We've watched 4 movies so far.
No, we've watched Rogue One,
Mm-hmm.
New Hope, Empire Strikes Back,
And
and
Solo. So
Solo.
this is
So
the fifth.
never mind. It's four.
So this is our fifth.
So this is our fifth.
So it's gonna go in. Is it the number 7 spot? I have, yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this will be 7th.
You're not just gonna put it straight at the bottom of the list.
No, no. Well, maybe I'll have a gap. We're watching 7 movies total?
8?
8.
Because it's the 3 original, 3 prequels, Rogue One,
Rogue One
Solo.
and Solo, 8. Okay. I'll put it at 7
Okay.
because I trust your judgment that I'll probably like one more less. So I'm not going to put it dead last yet, even though I can move these around. It's going to go 7 for now. But it's flirting with that 8 stop, man. It's not. It's not
I'm
good.
under the impression that you, by the end of this, will have to shift your list up by like 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. And I've
But
kind of been thinking
but
about
we'll
that
see.
too, but we'll see. We'll have to see. Um, anyway, my friend, this has been a fun one as always. Ladies and
It's
gentlemen,
always fun.
we love
I
talking
love
about
talking to you.
cartoons. We love talking about Star Wars and doing these series together. I love you too, pal. Yeah,
I'm throwing down the gauntlet in the comments. I wanna see what your head-to-heads results are. What would you have put for our initial winners? I want to see who you project to be future winners from this.
Yeah,
And most importantly, I need to know regular show versus Adventure Time. Where do you stand? Because I want to fight you guys. I want to fight.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Tell me what you think, and because I can fight both ways on that argument. Like
Totally.
that conversation is a little fluid for me. So let's fight, and I'm gonna give you my opinions.
I'm excited to see it, guys. I'm excited to see it. This has been the Sugar Side Podcast. I've been Tré. That's Garrett. As always, it is a bitter, bitter world out there. Stay sweet out there, guys. We'll catch you next time.